Good morning, everybody. This morning, I'm going to teach y'all how to make homemade biscuits. And one of the most important parts of making homemade biscuits the way my grandmother used to make is you have to have proper attire on. You have to get out of bed, put all your house coat on, and go into the kitchen like this. Or they just won't cook correctly. So, here we are, getting ready to make some homemade biscuits, just like Mama used to do. Oh, y'all, I love you so much that I will go to any length to teach you how to cook and teach you how to enjoy it. I don't even mind scaring you. I know my eyes disappear when I laugh. Oh my gosh. Whew. All right. So now that you know your proper attire, you need to go put it on. Excuse my cough, but you know all about the cough. All right. Whew. Here's what we're going to do. First thing you need to do is go over there and preheat your oven, or wherever your oven is placed in your kitchen. Got issues this morning, folks. Here I go again. I put it on 375. You can lower the temp if your biscuits burn. Okay. Excuse me. Oh gosh. All right, y'all. Wash your hands because you're going to need them. Y'all are so sweet to put up with me. All right, y'all. Here we go. Iron skillets really come in handy. Mama would not make hers in anything other than that, but you may if you'd like to. You can stick them on your pizza pan if you want to. Well, I'm going to use my little iron skillet. I've already sprayed it. You know what I'm fixing to get, don't you? Our Southern West Kentucky seasoning. Bacon grease. It's in your fridge now. Woo! All right. Grab a spoon. You don't need much, but you need a little dab. See? Plop it. There you go. We have plopped. Now, we're going to take this and stick it in the oven while it's preheating. Just a minute. I'll slam my door. So y'all know I really put it in the oven. All right. Now, grab your clean surface. Remember, clean surface. Now, bowl. I'm feeling goofy today. A bowl. Put some flour in your bowl. Oh my goodness, y'all. Oh my goodness. Life can be enjoyable, even during the trying times, if we will allow it. I don't run around here acting silly all the time, just so you know. But I'm just putting some in. I'm not measuring. You know about how many biscuits you'll need, and as you cook, you'll learn. Not a big deal. All right. Now you've got some flour. See? Hey, I got a clear bowl today. You can see the flour. Now I have some Crisco my grandmother would have been using lard. Use what you got. That's what I say. Use what you got. Let's get some lard out of here. Some Crisco out of here. Let's put a clunk in there. Big old heaping, big old tablespoon that I just use, stirring spoon. But anyway, oh, I'm going to put another one. Just for fun. Just because I can. There you go. That out of the way. Did you hear my oven ding? Preheating's done. Now, here you go. If you have a cutter, that's what I call it anyway, a cutter. This cuts the Crisco, which is solid, into your flour. Now, you can do that if you want to. Just like that, but you say, oh, I don't have a cutter. No problemo. Do you have a fork? Then you have a cutter. I mean, geez. Guys, you don't have to go out and spend a gazillion dollars. I mean, people use these on the wild frontier. Use their fork. So, let's use a fork. And actually, I think I'm going to get a little more Crisco. Where'd that spoon go? Like I said, as you cook, over the years, and the years are going to come, so you might as well get started this year. You kind of judge what it looks like, or I do, and then a little at a time, folks, a little at a time, because you know the rule. Once it's in there, you can't take it out. But what happens is your Crisco gets in little hunks. Pays to clean your kitchen. Oh my goodness. So you just you want it in hunks. You don't want this all smooth and everything. You want it in hunks. See? It's in hunks. Show you another one. Oh, hope you can see that. Now, here's what you do next. Gotta have the towel. Whew. Now, if you want really good biscuits, you use buttermilk. Now, this buttermilk, I'm gonna warn y'all right now. I froze this buttermilk because I order online most of the time. And instead of one, I ended up with two. And I don't use this very much at all. I use it for biscuits, which I don't bake anymore. I will show you the biscuits that I use. Oh, I gotta be honest with y'all. These are pretty darn good. But anyway, use some buttermilk. If you don't have buttermilk, you don't have to go get them unless you just get it unless you want to. What was I telling y'all a while ago? Oh yeah, I accidentally got two. I stuck one in the freezer, which you can freeze milk, but it took it all day yesterday for several hours. I left it just sitting in my sink to thaw, and then yesterday late afternoon, I squeezed on it, shook what I could, but it still had a lot of frozenness in it. And I stuck it in my fridge then and just left it. So this morning, so I'm shaking it up because buttermilk you want shook up anyway. Even if you're getting it out of the refrigerator fresh. But the warning is, it's been in my freezer for several weeks, like maybe 6. So I'm just not opening it up. It may stink. I don't know. It may not be good anymore because I don't know how long you can freeze it. So here we go. You know what you do the smell test. Oh, that smells just like buttermilk. Buttermilk does not smell that much like milk. It has a, let me do it again. I know it's going to sound, it has a thick smell. Figure that one out. But if you can use just plain old milk, my grandmother would call it sweet milk. That's what they used to call it, sweet milk. I was talking to somebody about that the other day. I can't remember who it was now. But anyway, put some milk in there. Now what I do is I put my milk, I make like a little well in the middle. You don't have to, but I do. And I fill that little well up. Now that's the way buttermilk's supposed to look. Like I told you, thick. Put some in, stick your fork down the middle, and start stirring around. A little at a time, boys and girls, little at a time. Once you put it in, you can't take it out. I'll show y'all. Can y'all see? The lighting's not real good. Is it? I have more. Ooh, these are gonna be so yummy. Just keep stirring around in a circle. It will pick up that dry. Uh-oh, I may have put too much. Scrape off the sides. Yeah, I got a little too much. Oh, no problem. As they say on the island of Dominica, no problem, man. We'll just add a little more flour. Oh, that's going to be good. And don't just stir it to death, okay? Please don't just stir it to death. Now, watch this, y'all. I've already washed my countertops. I'm going to cut right here. My grandmother, she had a bin, a flour bin. And one of the bottom doors to her cabinets, it looked like just a regular door, but it had a handle across the top like your drawers do. And she would pull it out and it would go full, it wouldn't pull out, it would go forward, it would lean out. And on top, her flour would be down there because she would buy it by the, 50-pound bags. And, because of course back then you made everything. You made your pie crust and your biscuits. You made biscuits every morning, bread, whatever, like that. And so they always bought a big container of flour. And she'd have a cup, just a regular cup, that she'd leave thrown down in there, and that's what she'd use to dip it out. And then on the top of it, when she pulled it out, it had a cutting board. She'd get her a wood cutting board. She'd get it out, and then when she got done cutting her biscuits and doing all of her biscuits, she would take that cup and scrape it off, the flour back off that she didn't use, close it back up and be done for the day. I do not have one of those, but I do have a kitchen counter. So I'm going to take some flour. It really doesn't matter how much. This will be my work area. I'm going to spread her out. So I leave my dough, my biscuit dough, tacky. See, it comes out in a big clump, but it's still wet. See, it's still wet. However, I just keep bringing this back and forth. Why do I do that? I'll put a little on top. If it's not super tacky, you don't have to do that. Here we go. We're going to get our fingers dirty. Get your fingers down to that flour. I'm going to turn it over a couple of times. Not much. You don't want to overdo it, okay? That's about it right there. Then just start pressing down. If you like thick biscuits like I do, you don't want to press it down a whole lot. It's tacky right there. Put some flour on there. But you don't want them totally dry, but if you like your biscuits thin, just smash it down a little thinner. Don't get it too thin though. I like mine fat. Just have a big old time. Have fun cooking, girls and boys. Have fun cooking. Now, oh my gosh, I need my flour again. Let me wipe my hands off, folks. This is one project you do want your towel with you because you will want to wash them off. So. Now, I'm going to run over here and get my iron skillet out of the oven, okay? I'll be right back. See, it's all melted in there. Go over your pan. Set it aside. Set it aside. All right, well, folks. Whew. There's my flour. Ta-da! Now it's time to cut out your biscuits, okay? Now, you do not need to go to town and buy a biscuit cutter. You can if it makes you happy, but you don't have to. Use a glass. Use a glass. Stick your glass down in here and get flour on the edges. See? Come over here. Cut your biscuits. You can get 2 or 3 cut. When it starts wanting to stick, go in there and do that again. Now you can have any size biscuit you want. You can use a bigger cup. You can use a square cup. I don't care. Just use something that you can pick up, stick down in there, and cut your biscuits. I got way too many biscuits for my little pan. But that's okay. I wanted to show you guys. Now, go through here just like if you're making cookies, if you make cookies. Ball this back up, your leftovers, your in-between stuff. Make sure you got it on the flour part. Now, this one is not going to hold together quite as good as the others, but it will. Now, I can just leave one big biscuit, what I've got right there. Or I can cut another biscuit out. Whoop. And then I'm going to finish up with this one. Leave nothing to waste. You will use every bit. There you go. There's my biscuit. Now, I am done with this. Let me show you what Mama did. I'm going to wash my hands again just because I can't stand it on my hands. Now my skillet's hot, so I'm going to get something to set it on. All right. Now what you do, you're going to sop these biscuits. You do not have to sop these biscuits. But the old timers did. You take your biscuit, you sop it in that grease, and you lay it down. You take that biscuit, you sop it in the grease, and lay it down. Squeeze that little one up in the middle there. Now, if you're just fixing for your family, you know, they don't have to be gorgeous. take this. See the, I don't know if you can see it or not, but I got some grease on them. See that one shining right there. That one. Okay. Now they're ready to pop in the oven. Hang on a minute. Now, these you can cook when that's done. You can use a bigger pan so you can get them all in there. You can stick them on something else. Or if you just don't need them, you can toss them, but don't save them. At least I would recommend. Maybe somebody knows if you can save them or not, but I don't. So, that's that. Those biscuits are going to cook on 375 until, well, I wouldn't worry about them for 15 minutes or so. And then you need to start looking at them and seeing you want them just golden brown on top. And if you're not sure if they're done, pull your pan out and kind of take a fork or a knife or something and try to pull two biscuits apart because they'll kind of stick together. And if they're doughy when you do that, you'll know they need another minute or two. If the top's getting too brown too fast, turn the oven down, people. Everybody's oven is different. Anyway, that's our lesson today, is making homemade biscuits. And you can put some homemade gravy, milk gravy, sausage gravy on top of them. Everybody says it's really, really good. I don't care for milk gravy. Michael loves it. Michael will be eating that this morning. He just doesn't know it yet. Hey, I love y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day. I promise I will go shower and brush my hair and put on some clothes. But the attire is one of the most important parts. Your children need to come down to the aroma of fresh biscuits cooking and sausage, or biscuits and bacon, or biscuits and gravy. And they'll come downstairs and they'll see Mommy in her grandmom or whatever, in her house coat, and it will be a glorious memory for them. And I do mean that. If you'll look back over your life, some of your fondest memories for home is smelling dinner cooking or breakfast cooking, walking in the door and Mom's been cooking. Ooh, it's just a good memory. There's cookies in the oven, or there's biscuits in the oven, and you want to give your family a few memories like that. Now we can't, a lot of us are now two-income families, and it's been like that for years now. But occasionally, you can still do that. My mom, she didn't work outside the house while we were growing up, but every Saturday morning is when she fixed a big breakfast. During the week, it was like, we got to get to school. Here's a bowl of cereal. But on Saturday morning, Mom always cooked bacon and eggs and biscuits and whatever she wanted to cook for breakfast. And we knew every Saturday morning, late morning, after cartoons, which used to only come on Saturday morning, which was the only morning school kids would actually get up early. And we would smell breakfast cooking. And that's a good memory for me. That really is a good memory for me. And so you want to give your family some of those memories that they can hang on to sometimes, especially as they get older and we're gone we've moved on to heaven. There's a few memories that I have found, and I know that the greatest memories that children grow up with are the smells that they see that they smell coming from the kitchen. The quarters, nickels, and dimes that are taped to the birthday card. Little things like that. It doesn't cost to make a memory. And those are the memories that are most important. They're the ones that flash back to you. I'm 61 and I can still remember the smell of Mom cooking breakfast on Saturday morning. those memories are the ones that are going to get your children and your grandchildren through their older years. So be sure that you plant some of those. You know, like I said, you probably don't have time to cook every day um, because of working, and you work so hard and you're so tired, and I understand all that. But pick some days. Just pick some days that are convenient for you and give them that memory that when they're in their 60s and 70s, when they're sitting in the nursing home, your children, your grandchildren, your great grandchildren, give them some memories that they can look back on and enjoy in their older life. You are giving your part of your legacy. You're giving the people that you love most a great memory that will carry them through many, many storms. And you're just investing in their lives. You're making their lives better. And it's simply by just making a biscuit or just some meal that you maybe enjoy cooking, and make sure that you do it often, and that will, at repetition, will cause them to remember and enjoy and think of you long after you're gone. And that's why cooking is so special. It touches so many senses. You know, you smell it, you taste it, you see it, you get excited about. You can either eat it. Just lots of things. I mean, you're touching their senses, and they get to touch it. You know, do that for them. Do that for you, and you will never, ever, ever regret it. It doesn't really matter what you're cooking. It's that when you're cooking it, you're enjoying it, and they're getting excited, and everybody's anticipating because they know that this is the number one thing that mom cooks or grandmom cooks, and I can't wait till she cooks it again. Do that for your family. I love you. Jesus loves you. And he's created these types of simple pleasures to give us a more fulfilled, joyful life. I love you. Hang in there. I'm glad you come and cook with me. It's so much fun. And I'm glad you let me be me. You guys are awesome, and you're going to do great in this life. Y'all have a good day, and love on your family, okay? I love you.